What's good, Joe? Welcome to another episode of Philly to Detroit Boxing, man. We got a very special guest on, my guy, Markos Hawil. What's going on, bro?
What up? What up?
Nothing much, bro. Appreciate you for coming on, bro. Like we just said before we start recording, you've been bullshitting me for like 2 months now, but we on now. We on now. I appreciate it. But how you get started with boxing? You know what I mean? I know we met like 2 years ago. You was a young dude, you was like 12, 13 years old when we first met. You was just up in New Way. And I remember you was telling me like your mom wouldn't even let you spar at one point in time. You know what
Nah.
I mean? So like what like how did you get started with it and like what changed over time to kind of convince her like, okay, he comfortable with this. I can be comfortable with this too, kind of thing.
No, so like I started boxing like almost 3 years ago. It's gonna be 3 years in like April. And so at first my parents weren't really cool with it. But as I started like fighting more, I had my first amateur fight and they started getting like more and more cool with it, and now they be coming to my fights, they be supporting, and they like let me do whatever I want with boxing now.
Yeah, yeah, facts, facts. And I
Yeah.
kind of noticed that too, just kind of like over time, you was just began sparring more. I know we was getting rounds in more and more, over
Yeah,
time
yeah.
was coming in, you know what I mean? So, no, that's dope, man. Then kind of when you first starting off, how was it like, I like to hear this from like you a high level guy now, man. You moving through the ranks in the open class now, but like as far as starting off, like how was it like taking punches, you know what I mean? Because of course as you getting started with boxing, of course everybody got to get over like getting punched in the face. How was it for you, like getting over that fact, like I'm going to get hit, I got to swing back, kind of thing?
Oh, nah, it was really nothing for me. It was just like, I knew like once I started boxing that was gonna happen, so it was really nothing for me. That part was easy for me. It was the nerves before my fight that really started getting to me.
Right, right. And how do you deal with that now? Kind of like the anxiety before a fight.
Um, I'm a lot better with that. I don't really get like that nervous before my fight. I fought like a lot better people too, so like now whenever I fight, I'm not really that nervous no more, especially after I got more fights and turned open and stuff like that.
Right, facts, facts.
Word. And what you think brought you to the boxing gym? Why at 12 you was like, I'm gonna go try this out, see what's up with it.
I just wanted to learn how to fight, like
Okay.
I want to be like different from other people, and so boxing is what got me into that.
Right, yeah. And was it kind of like a thing too? Because everybody respect the boxers in school, man. You a boxer in school, man. Everybody like, oh shit, my guy. My homie a boxer. You know what I mean? Was that kind of like a part of it too?
Yeah, no, that was probably the main reason.
Right. That's why I wanted to ask. I'm like, this probably the reason for this, man.
Yeah, that's definitely a reason.
And then what's the relationship like the coaches, man? Obviously, Coach Bobby, Coach Izzy, and everybody else that kind of is around the gym that kind of help you out. What's your relationship like with them?
Oh, nah, everyone in the gym now, they're like my second family. Like I got like hella good friends I made there. My coaches, I'm really close with my coaches too. It's, it's like second family there.
Yeah, facts, facts. And then as far as like the mentorship and everything that goes into coaching, how do they kind of bring the best out of you?
Um, like before my fights, they tell me to stay calm and stuff. They like keep me in check.
Yeah. Especially now you fighting these, like you said, you fight a lot better guys now. So I like you said, I
Yeah,
know you don't really get nervous, but it's more like a mental thing. Like you got to chill out, like don't
yeah,
rush and do too much. Is it kind of more like that?
yeah. So back in like October, I had fought the number one ranked dude he was like ranked first in my division at the time, and I fought him, and I didn't fight as good as I usually could because I was nervous, but I still got the job done against him.
And do you feel like you fell in love with boxing? Like do you feel like you at the point where this is kind of how you gonna try to feed your family in the future? Or you kind
Oh
of still
yeah,
taking it day
yeah,
by day?
for sure. And my family supports it now too, so that's good.
Shit. And then how would you describe your fight style, man? Because from me, from what I've seen and experienced with you, you know what I mean. It seems like more of a pro style. You like to pick your shots. You like to counter. But in the amateurs, it's kind of like rush, rush, rush. You know what I'm saying? But how for you? Like, how would you describe your style?
Yeah, for sure. For me, it's just like I don't really worry about the amateur scoring too much. I just try to fight my fight, and if I could fight how I usually fight, then it's a win for me. Win or lose, whatever the book says. It's a win for me if I could fight how I want to fight.
No, for real, because
Yeah.
we already know how the amateur kind of bias can come in. We've talked about
Yeah,
a couple of your fights where you feel like you won,
yeah.
um, and then just explain or go into that a little bit. How do you feel about amateur judging, just as a mass, as a general? How do you feel about it?
Oh, I think it's stupid, bro. Like the fact that it's just based off of like how many punches you could throw and land is stupid. Like if it's supposed to be getting you ready for the pros, it should be scored the same way the pros is, you know?
No, I agree.
Who are some of the best guys that you sparred with? Just some guys that you know you got come at your A game when you in the ring with them.
It's definitely not like I spar like a lot of good people too, but it's definitely one dude in particular I fought. I fought him at the regional silver gloves. He beat me. His name was Iben. He was really sharp. He beat me.
Right. Is it kind of like one of the things now though? Are you kind of like waiting to see him again because now you've been preparing for that moment again, kind of thing?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've been training for.
Like I'm gonna get on his ass soon as I see him again.
He's definitely gonna be at one of the national tournaments, and we're probably gonna rematch soon. So I'm getting ready for that too. National tournament in June.
And that was actually my next question. I was going to ask you, like, what's some of your plans for 2025? I know the Nationals in June coming up, obviously in December as well. But obviously, like you said, you're going to do the ones in June. How are you kind of preparing for that? Are you doing Golden Gloves too?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be doing Golden Gloves too, but my next fight is in like 3 weeks. I'm supposed to be fighting. They said he was like ranked third in the country or something like that in 3 weeks in the Tiny Wars in
Yeah.
Detroit, Michigan. Yeah, so I'm supposed to be fighting on that too, and hopefully Golden Gloves. And I'm really looking forward to that national tournament in June.
How are you kind of feeling about the Golden Gloves this year? Did you compete last year? And if you did, what was the result of that one?
So last year when I competed, I only had 7 fights and I fought someone with 40 fights.
Oh,
And to that dude I lost a 4-1 split. And then they gave me a match about the second weekend and I fought someone with like 12 fights and I knocked him down the second round and I won him unanimously.
right. But well, I guess I mean, it is the Golden Gloves. It's kind of like more of elite fighters within that, because like you said, you went against a dude with 40 fights. You was only at seven.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The experience gap was obviously there. But now, I mean, obviously, like, how many fights do you got now? And what weight you fighting at?
I got 18 and I just moved up. I fought at 132 at the regionals, but I just moved up to 138 from my last fight.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I was gonna ask you, do you feel like you've been like has your team matched you a certain way your first 18 fights, like on purpose? Have they been moving you fast, slower, or like speak about it a little bit?
So my first 4 fights, it was like against dudes my level.
Mhm,
So and then I got signed up for King of the Jungle, which is like supposed to be a national tournament.
mhm.
And then I fought someone that was like 10-2, and someone that had 7 fights when I only had two. So yeah, it was something. And then yeah, it definitely just got me ready for like open class. Because now when I fight these big names, it's a lot easier for me, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of just that kind of just threw you to the wolves in the beginning, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that sound like Bobby and them, man. Just kind of see if you ready. Just get you up in there, see if
yeah,
you got it. Yeah. No, but like you said, that prepared you for where you at now. And now you know you about like you said you about to do Golden Gloves, Nationals, and all this type of thing, man. So
yeah.
it's probably a good thing that they did that for you.
Or
Nah, they knew I was ready too, cause I beat the dude with 7 fights, and you know every single fight that I had with people that were more experienced were close fights too. So
Yeah, yeah. And oh yeah, I about to say every time I ask you about the result of the fight, man, if you lose the fight, it's almost like every time you be like, bro, they was on some bullshit.
yeah.
They cheated me, bro.
Nah, even
Yeah.
if I know it was a close fight, I always say.
I know, bro. I'm like, bro, I know they did, bro, because I already know like this judge, you know how it is. It's bias, and especially it depends on, especially if you're fighting in Michigan too. As I'm sure everywhere, it depends on where you fighting at. You fighting another guy's gym or another guy's city, it probably is gonna go his way more than likely if it's a close fight.
Yeah, and you've seen how I fight too. Like I'm like very patient, you
Yeah,
know.
no, you don't rush nothing.
No.
That's why I wanted to ask you about, about the amateurs and how you feel about that, because you don't rush nothing. You literally take your time and you do what you want to do in there. So that's why, like, I wanted to ask you about that too.
Nah,
Uh,
I take my time
what's
too. Yeah.
what's one of the things that you love most about boxing? And what's one thing that you hate most about boxing?
One thing that I love most about boxing is is for amateur boxing, especially, is that you could fight like once a week, and I can stay as active as I want. And one thing I don't like about boxing is what we were just talking about, how like I don't like the amateur scoring and how it does. I don't really think it gets you like ready for the pros as it should.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's not like basically what you said, getting ready for the pros? Like it's more pity pat when the pros they want you to score like hard shots and things of that nature, and they actually count ring generalship and IQ and things of that nature.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like I said, I think it should be scored the same way the pros is.
Right. No, I
Right.
feel you. Cause
At least once you get to a certain age, because I understand if you ate like you ain't gonna be fighting like no pro, but like
Not for sure.
once you get to like I feel like 13, 14, I feel like that at least from that point standpoint, it should change for them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Now those 8-year-olds be banging it out though.
Yeah,
no, they just
that's
go
why
at it.
I say you can't really I can't do that for the kids because the kids they just know the fight. That's it.
Yeah,
They just know to rumble it out. They not really thinking too much on I'm about to counter this jab. They just know to get busy.
yeah,
No, man. And then, becoming an elite fighter, man. I've been asking everybody this question, just kind of get their input, man. Like becoming an elite fighter, you moving up in the ranks in the state for sure. I've been I'm in the gym with you every day. I see your skills, how hard you work. What's it like doing all that and like, just trying to be 15 years old, man? You trying to live your life and just, you know what I mean, enjoy your life. What's it like balancing the two?
yeah. I mean, it's hard. I gotta wake up like early for school every single day, and sometimes I even go running before I go to school. So it's like I gotta be up at like 5:30 or 6. And it's hard to get your sleep in when you got like hard training days, and I get home from boxing like 9:30. So it's hard to like balance it, but you know,
No, yeah, you doing the damn thing. No, like I said, I see you in there every day. So I'm like, I wonder how he kind of like, just trying to
yeah,
hang. Maybe you want to hang with the homies, but from what I see, you extremely disciplined. You do stuff that you don't have to do. You know what I mean? So you on the
yeah,
right track. You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
Right. And going back to the amateurs, how far do you want to take the amateurs? Like, do you want to win a couple nationals, or you want to go like a gold medal route?
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know if they're doing the Olympics no more. I heard it wasn't in the 2028 Olympics anymore.
Mm,
But I was yeah, I definitely want to get like over 100 amateur fights for sure. And then I'll hopefully turn pro when I'm like 19, 18 if I can rack up that much amateur fights by that time.
No, effect. No, that's yeah. I
mm,
see. Yeah, get a good amount of experience under your belt before you go up in there. Yeah, I feel that. And
Yeah.
then it's like a lot of times, sometimes I feel like it can be good and bad, but I think 100 is a perfect amount. Like I think like
Yeah.
two, 300, 400 is too much. You know what I'm
No, hell
saying?
no, that's way too
yeah.
much. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
yeah. That's for me. That's always been too much because it's just like you about to fight for a whole another 15 years after you turn pro. So it's like
Yeah.
and then but yeah, 100 is definitely the perfect number.
And then, man, I also want to ask this, just kind of, what is like some of the things you like to do outside of boxing? Obviously, it keep you so busy, man. Like, what's some things you like to do to like ease your mind and step away for a minute?
I like playing like other sports like basketball, going out with my friends, shooting some hoops. And yeah, I just like go out with my friends. Like if I'm free like after a fight, then yeah, I'll go out with my friends for like a day and two, and that's it. But usually I'm just in a boxing gym with it.
Yeah, facts. You can't hoop. You can hoop a little bit, man.
For sure. Yeah.
Man, you can't hoop, man. We're gonna have to get on the court, man.
Who are some fighters that you like to watch and just take game from? Like some guys you like to study. Some of your favorite fighters,
I
rather
feel
pro.
like I feel like people are gonna get mad at me for this, but I love watching Shakur. I love watching like how he moves around the ring. Like if you understand boxing, like you'll appreciate what Shakur does in the ring. Like the way he moves and stuff for sure.
No, facts. No, yeah. No, I feel like we right on track with you on there. We big Shakur guys ourselves, so you know what I mean. I can
Yeah,
tell you probably because, like I said, you're not like a bang 'em out kind of fighter unless you gotta get in the
Yeah.
trenches. You know what I mean? Unless you
yeah,
have
yeah,
no choice. But for the most part, you like a slick fighter. You like to move, counter, and do shit like that. So I can see that for sure.
yeah,
Shakur, he just boxed like real subtle. So sometimes like the casual eye, you can't catch it. Like
yeah.
even
He,
somebody who don't got the most power, sometimes they do it a little flashier. They got more like slickness to it. Shakur just get the job done. everything is subtle, and he don't waste like too much energy doing nothing.
Like you said, a casual eye might not catch it. It might look super boring in there,
Yeah, like
because he might not be throwing as many punches as you would like, or he not knocking guys out. But if you like, like you said, if you understand boxing, everything he doing in there is extremely difficult. Like
Yeah.
anybody else probably would be in there getting punched on, trying to do the same movements and the same shit that he be trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I did want to ask you about a couple fights. Just about the Javante Roach fight. Obviously, that was a big controversial fight. How did you feel about it? And did you think Roach should have got that win? Did you agree with the draw?
I didn't watch that fight because I was fighting the day after, so I had to
Mm.
go to sleep early. But from what I've seen and like what people have been saying, if it was for real a draw and Ting took that knee like in the middle of that round, that should be counted as a knockdown in my opinion.
No, yeah, that was kind of the next question. How you feel about the knockdown situation? Do you feel like if you take a knee, just you can't, you know what I mean? You can't call a timeout. You know what I'm saying? So do you feel like taking a knee is a knockdown, or But people bringing up the rule book. The rule book kind of say it's up to the ref. How you feel about that knee? Or have
Nah,
you seen that ever at all? Have you seen that in the amateur fight at all,
yeah,
like in your
I
experience?
was about to ask you that because going back to the rule book, a lot of people were saying was using a amateur background as trying to stick up for Tank, saying that when you're in the amateurs, they actually tell you like because you're not supposed to fight without a mouthpiece, things like that. Like if somebody hits your mouthpiece out and the ref don't see it, you actually can take a knee and be like, "Yo, my mouthpiece, you ain't catch that," and you should be good to go. So they was bringing up examples like that.
nah, you can't do that. This man ran to his corner like it was sparring or something, you know?
No, man. So you never seen that, though, like in an
So
amateur
no
fighter
amateur ref
tournament?
never told you nothing. Like you could take a knee. Like if something happens, you could take a knee to let me know or things of that nature.
Nah, I've never heard that. I've never seen that either.
Oh no, yeah, some fishy going on around there, then, man.
I mean, it's
No,
definitely that it's a I don't know what's the person called, but when you're in a professional fight at that level, it's the ref making the decision, and it's somebody outside the ring who making the decision. Who the ref got to have confirmation with. I don't know if people know this, but the
Yeah.
ref got to look at that person, and that person got to give you the go. Like, yeah, count that or not or no. Like, we not counting that. So like, you could
probably like a replay center
it be
type
little
deal.
politics stuff that people don't even peep. That like the
Yeah.
refs don't even make the end decision. That's why when Steve Willis was counting and he decided not to count, that's because when he made that look to that confirmation ball in the crowd, he said, "Bro, don't fuck that money up, bro. You better stop counting. You tripping." So it's like that's why he stopped counting once he because his original thing was to do the right thing. That's why as soon as he took a knee, he like 1, 2, but you got to go look at that corner and go get the confirmation from the commission in the crowd. That's who it is. The commission in the crowd. He might tell you like he might be like, "Hey, we not doing that. You better stop counting."
5 years from now, man, where does Marco see himself, man, in 5 years?
Oh, in 5 years, I'll for sure be pro by then. Hopefully, like I said, over 100 amateur fights, you know, and I want to get like over 100 amateur fights for sure. That's like my main goal for the amateurs. And also, if the Olympics is still a thing, I don't think it's gonna be in the 2028 Olympics, but if that's a thing, for sure that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I hope it is though. I think I've been seeing
Yeah,
Triple G the boxer. He like on the Olympic committee. He like been talking to him and trying to keep it in the Olympics and everything. So I'm hoping it's still a thing. It's looking promising from what he been posting and everything I've been posting.
yeah.
He
At
been
first it
posting though.
wasn't, but lately the last lately news that I've been reading is looking definitely on the upside.
Nah,
Yeah.
I heard they shut it down because there was like too much robberies going on and stuff and too much like you know what I'm saying like BS going around.
That is true, but I
Yeah.
mean, they decide to
But yeah,
keep it.
it's just
Yeah,
politics,
yeah, that
man.
just come with the
Yeah.
amateurs anyway, and especially when you get like international, like fighting guys from other countries, it's probably extreme politics. Have you fought any guys international? Like, have they came here? Have you fought anybody out like from out of the country?
Oh yeah, yeah. I fought someone from Ireland. I think it was back in August, I want to say. And they were supposed to fly us back out to Ireland, but they're supposed to be doing that in uh June this year, so
All
Okay,
right,
you're
that's
looking
good.
forward
You
to
already
it.
got
Oh,
a
that's
little
gonna be fire.
international experience in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then, like I said, you if you could go back out there in June and visit out there and get that experience, getting judged and everything out there, that's dope too.
yeah.
You felt the difference in like styles, like in terms of American style and the European style, or it kind of was the same?
No, his style was so weird. It wasn't like how other people from Ireland fight. It was just like most people from Ireland box on the outside, but he was just like he came forward at me the whole fight.
Right? You kind of had to keep him at bay, like use your reach and everything on him like that.
Yeah,
Now, my guy Marcos, man, appreciate you for hopping on with us, bro. Finally, after all this
appreciate
time,
you.
my guy, bro. Let the people know where they can find you at any social media or anything like that.
Howell Marcos on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok is basically the same thing. It's just Howell Marcos.
My guy, bro.
Yes,
Appreciate you,
sir.
bro. Thank